Most folks dislike change. In fact, change for the sake of change alone makes little sense. If it isn't broke, don't fix it goes the saying. Without warrant or expectation of improvement, change is probably even best avoided altogether. However, oftentimes, many may resist the evolution of things thinking change isn't warranted or that they are already functioning in a peerless capacity when indeed improvement is at hand. There it is for the taking, and the only thing required is a willingness to try. Consider telecommunications, for example. Some of us grew up with a rotary dial telephone. It worked perfectly fine. No one was the wiser, not having any experience with a more efficient design. Then came the touch-tone telephone. Holy smokes! How did we ever tolerate that horrible old design that took forever to dial? Then came the bag phone mobile phone. 10 pounds of heavenly versatility that by today's standards is laughable. Now our mobile phones possess tremendous capability, again compared with previous standards, and who knows what's in store for the future. Clearly, not all change is bad. Some of us have been business managers since before the advent of the menu. Adapting to menu usage, the change that it was, clearly led to improvements in performance and compliance. For many. Its implementation wasn't welcomed by all, although many of us today couldn't function without one. Some of us may have begun our careers as business managers with a store carrying a robust complement of products. If so, we probably have never really shied away from presenting robust column architecture in our menus. If our production, both in terms of per retail unit and products per retail, is solid, and our efforts yield superlative numbers, we probably should remain status quo. Others of us, however, may have started with a store with a limited suite of products. Or perhaps we work somewhere with a great product lineup, but somewhere along the way we dipped our toe into the pool of short-term success experimenting with shallow columns. Either way, we probably aren't realizing the production results we otherwise could be. So, whether this is the camp in which we find ourselves or the former, an alternative solution is at hand. Previously, bundled products were often fairly limited in quality and therefore gained a poor reputation. After all, confidence is high that there have been service riders who run for cover when they notice a certain guest heading their way who has one of these contracts. "Where's Charlie? I told him I was coming in." Let's face it, not all product offerings in the industry are alike. We all know this, but the bundles of the past aren't what we're talking about here. Today, some top shelf companies have entered the fray and are offering excellent products for which no one would have to apologize. Consider the following menu format. From which of these columns would we most like to effectively relay the value? From which column will our guests likely gain the most benefit? From the production of which column would we gain the most benefit? Is it the same column that looks the most expensive? Are we therefore apprehensive about even presenting a menu with such a column? And even if we did, would we have little expectation that we would indeed be effective at communicating its value? If our answers are choice, 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 yes, yes, and yes, we'll definitely want to watch video 2.3, where we review the presentation of this menu. Or we could probably find an old rotary dial telephone at a flea market somewhere and wax nostalgic. Think about it. Good luck and good selling.